Hello, this is Bishop Garland Hunt, and this is the Power of Hope devotional. I love it when I find people that come to me and they say to me, Bishop, I really enjoy those devotionals. Listen, put it down in there in your comments. It does bless me. I will see. Sometimes I say, who's listening to me? Who's out here really listening to the words that I give you? But I believe every one of them, it's just 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes, they will transform you. For instance, I want to ask you this. What is your mind conformed to? What is your mind right now focused on? Is it conformed to this world, or is it conformed to the mind of Christ? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I mean, how do you think? What narrative do you believe? You have to look at this. So Romans chapter 12, it says, I beseech you therefore, brother, that's to plead, that by the mercies of God, you present your bodies a living sacrifice. Our whole body must belong to God. That includes our mind. Our whole body belongs to God. And I'm talking about your mind right now. Your mind must belong to God. You offer him your whole body. That includes your mind, that includes your body, that includes your skull, that includes your brain. Everything up here must be given over to God. Even your thoughts have to be given over to him. And he says that present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. In other words, this is the exact thing that I expect. I expect that you would do this. This is the minimal. This is the minimal. And it says, and be ye not conformed to this world. Don't conform to this world. Don't conform to this world's thinking. Don't conform to what the media says. Don't conform to what people tell you. Don't conform to social media. You cannot say, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Is your mind transformed? Are you thinking like the world? Are you thinking of the narrative of the world? Are you focused on the world, or are you focused on Christ? Are you thinking like, are you shaping your mind like Christ? So be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. Your mind should think the thoughts that are good, that are acceptable, and the perfect will of God. That's right. In other words, your mind has to be sanctified. Your mind has to be consecrated. Your thoughts have to be consecrated. Absolutely. Because you're going to give over yourself as a reasonable service. That includes your thoughts and your mind. You cannot conform to this world's thinking. So when they tell you things in the world, you have to look, what's God's thinking about this? What is he saying? And it says, for I say, through the grace given unto me, every man that is among you, not even to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. So you can't even think of yourself even more highly than you ought to think. In other words, you even keep yourself totally submitted, totally broken, and totally humble. And I like it in the New Living Translation. It says, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. See, it starts here. It starts right here. This is where you have to make a difference in how you're thinking, and it controls the whole body. But if you allow yourself to think sad thoughts, to think empty thoughts, to think grievous thoughts, or angry thoughts, or jealous thoughts, or sensual thoughts, and you let those things just incubate in your mind, that's what you become. You become what you think. You become so you cannot conform to the world. You have to conform to God, but your mind has to be renewed. Your mind has to be renewed. Lord, renew my mind. Tell him, ask him, Lord, renew my mind. I want to just encourage you in this regard. I believe that God has you in a place of a reasonable service, but it's not until you conform to the biblical standard and that you are transformed by him and your mind is renewed that you can walk fully in the character and the Christ likeness that he's called you to do. This is Bishop Garland Hunt. This is the Power of Hope devotional. I'll talk with you next time.